Hello, everybody. Welcome to Storm Log 6 of the Scudbuster Diaries Flagler County Storm Chasers. My name is Ed Sharkovich. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the rain and flooding that happened on Thanksgiving Day. Taking a look at the national forecast map from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, we can see that the entire United States on Thanksgiving Day was bright and sunny except for the Florida Peninsula. Taking a look at the forecast that came out of the National Weather Service Jacksonville, 5 o'clock Thanksgiving Day morning, you can see that they called for heavy rainfall over northeast Florida, strong thunderstorms possible in north central Florida, and they also said that any strong storms that would develop in our area would be capable of producing damaging wind gusts, hail, and frequent lightning strikes. The line that they drew for these storms to develop went from Gainesville over to St. Augustine, and everything southeast of that was in the line of fire. That includes Flagler County. They also told us that an isolated tornado could not be ruled out, and that was actually the case pretty early on in the day over towards the southwest coast of Florida. You can see that there was not only a waterspout, but a tornado that came ashore there. This entire system was moving towards our area, so we were on alert. Our first event of the day actually came out of the Villages by Ocala. This storm was moving northeast towards Bull Creek. It was historically capable of producing hail. This yellow circle right here actually was reported hail that was on the ground. And as we take a look at the central part of the storm, not only was the hail that was coming towards Bull Creek potentially ½ inch in diameter size, they also gave this storm a meso listing, which means that it was rotating. So taking a look at the statistics for this mesocyclone, or rotating thunderstorm, they said that the maximum rotational velocity was 28 knots or 32 miles an hour. That's how quickly it was spinning, and it was moving toward the northeast at 19 knots or 22 miles per hour. So we headed over towards Bull Creek, and by the time we got there, the storm actually had weakened and fizzled out, which means that Flagler County was safe. We just wound up getting quite a bit of rain. The next event that took place was down by A1A and State Route 40 in Ormond Beach. There was a line of storms that was coming out of Pearson and DeLand heading toward the northeast. You can see this purple area inside of the red in the central part of the storm. That is hail potential. And when we take a look at the potential size of the hail that was in that storm, it was a ½ inch. This is what the winds looked like coming near 40 miles an hour as we sat in the parking lot at A1A and State Route 40. So here we are at A1A and State Route 40. Look at this wind just whipping across the parking lot. Estimated wind gusts were 40 miles per hour. We had the van pointed northeast. In case there was hail, it would not come through the windshield. So from A1A and State Route 40 in Ormond, we started to progress our way north on A1A, and here is some of the flooding that took place.
Go ahead, react 10.
Right here at the Flagler County Volusia line, both lanes A1A submerged by at least 4 to 5 inches of water.
All right, copy that. Okay. WCJ 431, thank you. We already got the reports north of there. So thank you so much, WCJ 431.
So we just crossed back into Flagler County from down in Volusia. There's multiple reports of A1A being completely submerged. We're coming up on that right now. Immediately south of the Flagler Beach Water Tower, traffic is slowing down almost to a standstill. Right at the county line, we had water covering A1A by a good 4 to 5 inches. This is looking about 3 to 4. You can see the Mustang in front of me is, this is a good 4 or 5, maybe 6. At 3:48 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day, the National Weather Service issued this bulletin, which basically said that rainfall for our area was beginning to taper off. Taking a look at some of the rainfall totals, while it was still raining in both St. Johns and Flagler counties, Palm Coast had 4.07 inches of rain, Bunnell 3.26 inches of rain, and out in Espanola, a little bit over 2.5 inches per rain. Some of our viewer rainfall totals came in like this. South 23rd Street in Flagler Beach, 4.25 inches. North 5th Street, Flagler Beach, 4.69 inches. The WH section, 5.5 inches. The WE section, 5.2 inches. The FR section, 6.26 inches. Palm Coast Stables, which is on US 1 a little bit south of Palm Coast Parkway, 7 inches of rain. And the R section took the grand prize with 8 inches of rain. That is quite a lot in addition to what we've already had this year. Submerged road reports from all of this weather came from Bird of Paradise, where there were lanes of travel underneath water. The BU section of roads off of Butterfield especially, submerged. Colorado and Palm Harbor, submerged. Barrington at Belterre and Island Walk Center at Old Kings Road both had travel problems because of the depth of water. This is a great time to talk about the National Weather Service and NOAA's campaign about not driving into flooded streets. Their campaign motto is "Turn around, don't drown." There's a reason for that. Number one, no water depth should be gone into. It's not worth risking your life. It's also not worth damaging your vehicle. But let's take a look at some damage that I did see the following day after things dried out somewhat. This was over at Lee and London. You can see how this culvert area had completely eroded away. The grass that was up at street level was down at the bottom, and this sidewalk completely undermined. Imagine if you had decided to drive into that area not knowing that that dirt was no longer there. It could have been disastrous. So there's actually a reason for why they issue these bulletins. This was over at WYNFIELD and Pine Lakes by the gas station. There was a tremendous amount of water that we're going to take a look at here in just a moment. And all of that had drained off, eroding this surface right almost to the edge of the road again. All of that being underwater and attempting to drive through it could have disastrous results. This drop right here is probably 7 or 8 feet, plenty of room to submerge a car. Let's take a look at how much water was actually there on the following day. So here we are in the beginning of December, and Flagler County is in the record books for rainfall totals for 2017. Taking a look back at history, Flagler County first began keeping rain records in 1995, and since that time, each year, we averaged 49.73 inches of rainfall. So far, Flagler County this year has gotten 72.16 inches of rain. The closest runner-up to that was back in 1995 with 67.87 inches. Take into account that we have had Hurricane Irma, the nor'easter, king tides, and now the Thanksgiving Day rains. This is one of the wettest years on record. Northeast Florida gets its Doppler information from 2 radar towers. One is up in Jacksonville and the other one is down in Melbourne. Because of the distance between these 2 towers and the curvature of the Earth, Flagler County is inside of a Doppler radar blind spot. We are virtually invisible on Doppler radar from the ground to 5,000 feet in the northern half of the county and to 10,000 feet in the southern half of the county. Our job as weather spotters and storm chasers is to go out into severe weather and sit and wait and watch for weather to unfold and happen. And then we report degrading conditions to the National Weather Service and Flagler County Emergency Services so that you can be notified of severe weather. The National Weather Service and Flagler County Emergency Services have teamed up in order to help fill in this gap by offering Skywarn weather spotting classes held periodically at Flagler County Emergency Services in order to educate you, the public, about severe weather. The next class is going to be Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, from 6 to 8 p.m. at Flagler County Emergency Services. That's at 1769 East Moody Boulevard, Building 3, Bunnell, Florida. The class is free and open to the public. I suggest that you take this, educate yourself, protect yourselves, your family, and your business from severe weather. We love going out into severe weather, but we can't be everywhere at the same time. We need your help. We're looking for storm reports of wind damage, flooding, dense fog, lightning strikes, tornadoes, water spouts, beach erosion, and hail. Give us a call, let us know where it happened, and we'll send one of our photographers out to record the damage and then turn that information over to the National Weather Service and Flagler County Emergency Services. Take a look at Flagler County Emergency Services website by going to flaglercounty.org www.flagler.com/emergency. You will see a bunch of information on there to help you and your family stay prepared for the next weather event. On social media, go to Facebook and Flagler Weather Info. That page is run by Flagler County Emergency Services. You'll get the very latest in non-hype forecasting for our area. And on there, you will find Bob Pickering and his Flagler Weather Update, where he will give you bulletins and announcements that are pertinent to Flagler County and weather. Follow us, the Scudbuster Diaries, at edsharkphotoimages.com/Scudbuster Diaries. You can also follow us on our Facebook page, the Scudbuster Diaries Flagler County Storm Chasers. We do live Facebook broadcasts whenever severe weather is in our area. You can watch our episodes both on the Flagler County YouTube page and on Flagler County Television, Spectrum, Channel 492, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Flagler County Assist React is a great organization of dedicated volunteers that assist emergency management during times of crisis. REACT stands for Radio Emergency Associated Communications Teams, and all of us are trained to help out emergency management. If you're ready to start giving back to your county, look them up on their Facebook page, Flagler County Assist React. Join up. It's a great group. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ed Sharkovich. Have a great night.